Hello?
So
Hello?
sexy, so
Hello?
funny,
Hello?
Doozy boy.
Hello?
Oh, hello.
The Dooziest boys. Well, I won the singing competition.
Oh, yeah, right? It's obvious.
And
My
you won
talent
the
portion-
swimsuit. The swimsuit competition.
Yeah, my
exactly.
my Speedo.
Hey everyone, welcome to the MenofDoozy podcast.
Yes, everyone, you're probably thinking, what the hell does that even mean, though?
You know, the word doozy means something that is extraordinary or outstanding of its kind.
And if you can't tell, we are not that.
Oh, but we are gonna be.
Ooh,
And we want to be.
that's right.
And we need to be.
And we need to.
We have to be.
And so this is the podcast that we are going to give you all the tools that you need to help you become successful in life. How do I do this? How do I do that?
Right. And the best part is we're going to learn how to be successful ourselves, but we're also teaching you how to do this or that.
Makes sense to me.
I'm Alex, Miss Boston, Miss Massachusetts, Staub.
And I'm Kirk, Mr. Congeniality Koz.
Okay, there we go. Kirk, what are we talking about today?
You know, I am so interested in this. It is a mainstream thing. It's a competition. And they're across the entire country and world. We're gonna learn
Universe,
about
actually.
The universe. That's
Universe.
right.
The universe.
We're going to learn, guys. This is very exciting. We're going to learn how to beauty pageant.
Wow.
You know, beauty pageants. They're a big, elevated,
Yeah.
celebrated
Yeah, these are big.
event with very
Competition.
beautiful,
Yeah.
talented, smart people.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. And it takes a lot to
It takes
to,
a
to,
lot.
to wear the crown.
to wear the crown.
You know what I mean?
It takes a lot. It's a long road
Yeah.
to getting to the crown. There's some people who like start very young. There's some people who jump right into it.
Yeah.
There's some people who are born.
But we know nothing about
We
beauty
don't.
pageants, so we have a very special
We
guest.
do. This is
okay?
very exciting.
She's gonna teach us how to get the crown, right?
Yes.
How to win.
How to
okay?
win.
She was Miss Tennessee in 2018.
Ooh.
Okay,
And she
very
also,
qualified.
If I'm correct, she competed in the Miss. Is it Universe?
America,
Oh,
Universe,
Miss America?
Miss
I
America,
think
Miss
Miss
Universe.
America.
Everyone, welcome, Christine Electra Williamson.
I don't hate being welcomed in with applause. I can get used to that.
We got
Yes.
you. Yeah, we got
We
the
got
applause.
you. We got
I'm
you.
sure you are used to that, though.
Sometimes it's always fun, but then no one tells you is after your year is that no one stands up and claps when you come in a room anymore because you're just like that next day you're like, what?
Yeah,
You're still doing the wave.
walking into like Dunkin' Donuts or something. You're like, hello.
I worked on this wave so much.
Yeah.
I deserve some applause.
And you're like, don't you know? Oh, I don't have a crown on, so there's that. Like,
There you go.
you start realizing.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
Kirk, let me ask: have you ever won a beauty pageant?
You know what? I wish.
Any kind of contest like that?
Contests? No. I think the only type of contest of sorts I've ever been a part of is maybe like a talent show.
Yeah.
But
talent
you
show.
know, I mean, talent. There's talent portions in beauty pageants, right?
Yeah.
But on the look portions or the swimsuit portion
Yeah.
or the dress or current events portion, I've never competed in
Yeah.
any way.
Yeah.
But I want to learn how to excel in those things. Let me ask you: have you ever been so gorgeous that you get to?
I was actually in a kind of a pageant.
Wait, what?
This was in high school. It was called my school was called Masco, and it was called Mr. Masco, right?
Oh,
And we would go out and we would do like you'd have like a dance. You'd have to like do your
Oh,
own
I'm just
talent.
remembering
You'd have to
something.
like answer questions. You'd have to like do all this stuff. And my talent, I came in third place, but I passed the talent round. And my talent was I made a salad. But this was like. No, but
It is.
this was like I had one of my friends with me, and I was like, we made the salad, and I'd be like, which lettuce? And I was like, it was all like audience involvement, and I was like, which lettuce? We got this, and everyone, I was like, spinach, and everyone was like, yeah. So we throw the spinach in, and then I'd be like, all right, what do we add? We had tomatoes or onions? What are we doing? They're like tomatoes. It was like this. It was like a
my
rock.
God.
It was like a rock show, and then at the end, I was like, all right. And like the lights went down a little bit, and I was like, all right, now we're gonna toss this salad, right? And my friend puts on like goggles, and he's got like the 2 like spoons, and Sandstorm starts playing. It's like strobe light, and he's like tossing the salad, and like salad's flying everywhere, and I'm like dancing through like the crowd and everything. Did you do anything like that?
Did you do anything like that?
I can't, but we have this awesome state auditor who knows like all the pageant history, and he told me this one time out in BFE, Tennessee, this girl hypnotized a chicken, and it worked during rehearsals, but not during the pageant itself.
What?
So it like flew out in the audience during evening. Like they couldn't find it because the people distracted it. Right. So it's in there, and they didn't find it till evening gown. So there's just a chicken like running through the audience.
Wow. So.
Wow.
Okay. And now it's the talent portion for Miss Universe. What's your talent? I'm gonna hypnotize a chicken. That's actually impressive.
That is actually pretty impressive. That probably takes a lot of practice.
Yeah.
You telling me
you don't let live animals anymore, which is understandable because I'm sure there's probably a lot to that story I don't know.
There's probably a lot of mess to clean up sometimes too, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because like, what happens if there was someone that had there's like two rules to it where you can have live animals and you can't have projectile items because one girl wanted to do archery and they're like, well, what if you miss?
Yeah, exactly.
What
if you miss? She's like, I'm gonna shoot an apple off this girl's head, and then she kills the girl or something like that.
And now that woman has one eye.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I would pick my competition and be like, you're a volunteer.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
A person from the audience. Right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I can't wait to hear more about talent stuff. Well, you were talking, I remembered I was in senior year of college. There was a Relay for Life, which is, I guess, a cancer organization. And they did a Mr. Relay. So there was like 5 or 6 people. And I was one of the people up for it. And me and a friend did a Backstreet Boys dance. You know, the end of This Is the End?
Yeah.
I did it was the most.
Bye.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did some crazy boy band dancing. So I have been in a competition.
We have some talent.
We got some talent.
We got some talent.
I'm so ready to get into the nitty gritty of this. Are you ready, Christine? Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to dive deeper into this. So we have 5 tips.
Yeah, these are the top 5 tips on how to beauty pageant.
Has given us these tips, and we're gonna read them from 5 all the way down to 1. Get ready.
Hey, get your makeup on.
Get your makeup on. Okay. Get your face on.
Get your face on. Get ready. Okay.
All right. You want to take it away?
Number 5, everybody. You will have glue and tape in areas you didn't expect. Okay. No one tells you that you have to be Elmer spray glued into a swimsuit before going on stage. Okay.
Okay. You know what?
Okay, well, tell us a little bit about that.
Tell us a little bit. We need some clarification.
Okay, you got glue and tape. Okay, what's that?
There's glue and there's tape involved and no one told me this. I remember my very first pageant. I'd never done a pageant before. I was 17. Thought I was supposed to be in the teen one, but if you're 17 and a senior in high school, I just turned 17. It bumps you up to miss. So I come from a Baptist family. I'd never put a 2-piece swimsuit on in my life, like Speedos for life. So full church camp stopped. And so I find out I'm wearing a swimsuit and I'm like, oh, wait it. And then before I go on stage, they're like, oh, we've got to glue you in. What? So because you're walking in heels and you're walking on stage and you're posing and you're going at a relatively brisk speed. And there's people staring, the judges are usually right here staring up at you and the audience staring at you. You get spray glued into your swimsuit. But otherwise, your kibbles and bits come out. And we don't want that.
Wow. You know,
so it's to keep everything together.
It's to keep everything in. Like a really, really good boxer brief.
Yeah, good boxer brief. So you're about to go on. You just kind of open up the bathing suit and you just spray an Elmer's glue in there. And then you just
usually more on the bottoms than anything. And then you're taping everything together. I've duct taped myself into things to make them fit more times than I'd like to admit.
Okay. Wow. It does kind of make sense because when you watch those competitions,
everything's got to be perfect.
You and the ladies that you have competed against are so incredibly trim and fit and they're so beautiful that
It's all just glue and
And
tape.
it almost is like it's just everything is so tight. Everything is so tight.
Everything's tight and perfect, but it's just glue and tape.
Yeah. Oh my.
Staying, and like the secret is we're glued in, because also like if it's on ABC or NBC or whatever, that's liability for them too. So they're gonna make sure you're glued into that.
To stay in place.
Yeah.
It
you
makes sense.
don't want you said kibbles and bits? Yeah, you don't want your kibbles and bits.
Kibbles and bits, yeah.
Right.
we don't need a
Sponsored
commercial.
by Kibbles and Bits. Okay.
Well, let me ask you another.
Have you ever
Have,
have you ever had a wardrobe malfunction?
I've never had like one of those catastrophic ones that I have nightmares about. I've never had that happen. I did feel the year I won Miss Tennessee, I felt the front lining of my dress like come unstitched in one part, and the front of my shoe kept catching in it. So I had to take like the smallest steps humanly possible. So I didn't like just eat it on stage.
Yeah.
Actually, at Miss America, they had made some changes my year. So there was a carpet, and they told us it was called like the red carpet evening gown. I can't remember. But walking in heels on a carpet is awful. And so thankfully, that is wonderful seamstress. But I'm sitting there like I'm about to eat it on national television.
Yeah.
This is going to
break
be.
your ankles.
I was just like, I am going to be a meme for the rest of my life.
do you think somebody in the higher up was like, you know what, we need to give them a little bit of a challenge. Let's have them walk on a carpet this year.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
They're just like, you know what we should do? Ratings. How do we do that? We can't do it with a question. We can't guarantee that she'll mess up the carpet.
Carpet. That's it.
Carpet. And then at the end, we'll just put a whole pool of Elmer's glue. Yeah, they won't move. Yeah.
You know, Christine, I think about this and the tape and the glue, and I'm like, has anybody had an allergic reaction, or like a reaction, or that's awful.
Actually, trying to take the swimsuit off after
That must
probably is the worst.
Oh, your skin comes off. So the secret. Oh yeah, like there's like a patch that's gone, but if you do it right, as soon as you come off stage, rip it. So then it's like
like a Band-Aid.
tacky. Do what?
Like a Band-Aid.
Like a Band-Aid, exactly, because it's fabric and same thing, kind of. But then you take baby oil wipes and just do that, or you will stick to the toilet.
Wow.
You're like bleeding. You're like, worth it.
Worth it.
Worth it.
I won.
Did I win?
Am I beautiful?
Am I beautiful?
Because you think like you get nervous, you have that like nerve pee thing, and so right after you're like, I got to go to the bathroom, and then if you don't get that off right, then like you're stuck.
Oh my God.
I've been there. That's an interesting text to your mom.
Oh,
I bet.
Well, that's. Are there any other little secrets that are backstage that you've had to do that's uncomfortable or weird?
Hairspraying your feet, because your feet will get tired because you're standing in heels a ton. It creates a barrier between that and the shoe.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, for like blisters and stuff, or just
Blisters and just the balls of your feet mostly. I mean, your feet look disgusting.
Hairspray.
Well, I don't use hairspray.
You do sometimes.
Yeah.
That's so.
Yeah. They'll be like, Alex, what's with all this hairspray? I'm like, it's for my feet.
It's right.
Because you don't have hair. Yeah, it's for my feet.
Listen, I do a lot of walking in heels.
Yeah.
But the thing like with spray tans, you're trying to keep, if you're competing for more than a week, like at a state pageant or something, like the smell of spray tan is like nauseating, because a lot of times to keep it, girls aren't showering a ton.
Oh.
Oh. So it's
Because you got your hair done and all that stuff, and you got to keep it.
Yeah.
Oh my.
You can keep it, and if you have extensions, then that's a whole nother ball game. I think I scare people with, I have a halo extension I wear, so it's like a line right here, and then the hair comes from here around, so I can just take it in and out, and it's way healthier. But so when I'm done, I just like chuck it wherever. Like, I'm done, I'll put you away later. So it looks like a dead animal. It's just like my station.
Okay, so you watching the pageants and you're like, this is beautiful, but backstage you got dead hair animals, you got glue everywhere, and it smells. People haven't showered in weeks.
Like BO.
And you got BO, and you got glue everywhere, and it just smells like hairspray.
Backstage,
Wow.
It's something, but there's so many tricks to it that people don't see. I mean, from keeping your spray tans to hairspraying your feet, to the extension work, to everything in between with that. And I found out the hard way that I am very, very, very allergic to lash glue. So I have to use a hypoallergenic wig glue because otherwise my eyes break out and it looks like I'm just like constantly crying. And then they lift up and then it waters all around here. And I'm like, why would I get the one thing?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So you learn, but I've also found that wig glue is the best lash glue. It's like the $6 black wig glue on Amazon and it's hypoallergenic.
Lash glue.
Oh
I've
my
never
gosh.
used lash glue before. One thing that I am just so impressed with and just have like a huge respect for is just the whole, just women having like the makeup and the shampoos and like the
facial
just
cleansing.
I mean, you guys, there's so much stuff, right? Like I live with a girl, and in the shower, there's like a 1,000 different things, and I'm like, what? This is for the shampoo. After you shampoo, you use this shampoo, and and then in the sink, there's all these hair dryers and all this. There's so much stuff, and I have like a comb and like a bar of soap, and I'm like, I'm good.
For me, it's like I experience the same thing, and I'm like, the way that I describe it in my head, I think is like, it's like when you don't understand a sport, but you're a guy, and you're like, but I'm a guy, I'm supposed to understand this sport. There's so many different rules and different equipment. How does this work?
Right.
But like they're pros at it. It's so much respect.
So much
It's so much money. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So much money.
I bet.
Can I, like, if I could have a sponsor just for my shampoos, like if Olaplex wants to sponsor me at any given point, like please call me.
Yeah.
You have taken my money. I will give you more, but I would like to not.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I'm
let's
ready
keep-
to
let's-
move on.
let's
I
keep
think
going. Let's keep
this is
going,
amazing. Guys, the top 4 tip is anything can be rhinestoned and or glued back together. A very big glue theme.
Yeah, a lot of glue.
With a little faith and E6000, or is that 6,000? E6000, you can do anything. So what is E6000? Is that
E6000 is this incredibly strong glue specifically for rhinestones, but I have used it when zippers have come apart to get glued into or sewn into a dress. I have seen it with, if there's a tear, just rhinestone that sucker up. You're done. It is the strongest stuff ever. Like I have glued, because you're spending like, once you have like that item, and I mean, stuff happens. So if say your heel breaks and you're trying to get that, like the heel back onto the base of it, E6000. If there's a tear, rhinestone, E6000. If your earring's falling apart, E6000. That's my solution. Glue is my solution to everything, clearly.
Oh yeah, I just looked up this glue,
E6000.
and it's literally this big. But you know that if it's this big and it's just
It's like that
thick
gorilla glue.
6,000,
Yeah.
it's like
you
it's
put a little on your
dangerous.
finger, and then you got to rip your fingers apart and go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my.
Like it's intense. If you get it on something, like run, just run.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And if you're really intense about it, like I rhinestone everything. So if you're, I think I scared the daylights out of my parents. I was living at my parents' house and I was in Tennessee because I was driving all the time. And it was kind of great. I could ask my mom to mail me clothes and I would mail her laundry, and I'm sure she loved that. But I had this jersey I was rhinestoning because we always did like college jersey day in Tennessee, and I'd done this big Miss Chattanooga one. And I just didn't think about the fact that it's at my parents' house and, you know, they don't always like understand my stuff. So I was making a Miss Tennessee one, blah, blah, blah. And there's these glue syringes. So you can like take the big thing, the industrial Costco size things of E6000, put it in a syringe so it's more exact. It is a craft syringe. Okay. And my dad comes in and he's from North Mississippi and has a super thick accent. He's like, "Baby." And I'm like, "What's up, Steve?" He's like, "Baby." And I'm like, "What?" We always say he says it 3 times every time. He's like, "Baby." And I'm like, "What?" "I'm busy." He's like, "I need to talk to you." "Why?" "I saw the things in the dining room. I don't think you put them away." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's, "Come with me." And I'm like, "I'm in a meeting." He's like, "Just, I tell him you'll be back." So we walk in. He goes, "Do you have something to tell your mother and I?" I'm like, "Those are glue syringes." He was so worried, and like the just fear of God in his eyes.
Yeah.
What the hell are these?
What the hell are you up to,
What the hell
Missy?
is- Oh, it's E6000. It's E6000. What kind of drug is that?
What are you kids doing
What are
these
you
days?
kids doing these days? Yeah, my mom, she bedazzles everything. If she has like a hat or something, she'll go and she'll rhinestone everything. I'm surprised she hasn't rhinestone the dog yet, you know?
I wonder if your mom has heard E6000.
Probably. That's probably what
She's
she
an
uses.
investor.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's the secret to especially rhinestones. It's the best. It beats super glue, but if you get it on something, like, it's done. But it does fix like anything, like last minute things that have gone wrong. I have definitely glued together zippers before.
Wow.
I mean, I had to cut myself out of it, but it's fine.
Wow. Even the zipper can't. It's stronger than a zipper.
Glue is stronger than a zipper.
It's stronger than a zipper. That's crazy. But that's that. So when you're watching the pageants and everyone, you know, everything's obviously like sparkly and like, you know, stuff like that. It's just wardrobe malfunctions. It's just one big malfunction, right? Wow.
But that's why it's always fun to hear the stories after the fact. Like, I love hearing or seeing on Instagram, like sometimes girls will tell it, or just hearing through the grapevine or people I know. I love hearing the malfunction stories after of like, and you still went out and like won or did amazing and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, and she's in the air, like on her tiptoes because her heel broke or whatever.
Yeah.
She's covered in glue. She hasn't showered in days. She smells like hairspray.
She's wearing a dead animal.
There are dead animals everywhere, but she won. That's how you do it.
But she won. And it wasn't sponsored by Kibbles and
It wasn't
Bits.
sponsored by Kibbles and Bits.
And she did it without showing any of them.
Any of them.
She didn't show one kibble.
Gosh, this is incredible. You know what? I think we are at a great point. We are going to go on a quick ad break, and we will be back in just a minute.
Word from our sponsors. Before we go to our next tip, we have a quick ad break for you. Hey, Kirk.
Yeah?
You know what sucks?
What?
Trying to win Miss Universe and your Kibbles and Bits pop out.
Oh, don't I know it. But stop. You know what doesn't suck?
What?
Botticelli Foods.
That makes sense.
You know, I'm tired of my E6000 glue not keeping my rhinestones glued onto my skin-tight spandex costumes. I'm also tired of buying expensive, low-quality foods. I deserve nice things. I deserve quality.
You deserve stronger glue.
I deserve authenticity, simple ingredients,
Fresh ingredients.
something convenient.
Something gourmet.
If you all go to BotticelliFoods.com and use promo code Doozy, that's DOOZY at checkout, you can get 10% off all Botticelli food products.
We're talking pasta.
Yeah?
Okay? We're talking pasta sauce. Ooh. We're talking olive oil.
Ooh.
Okay? We're talking balsamics.
Oh.
I love balsamics. Oh. And many more flavorful, juicy, delicious, family-owned products.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, Botticelli Foods are extraordinary and outstanding of their kind, just like the MenofDoozy.
Yeah, just like us.
Buon appetito, ragazzi!
Hey! This week's episode is also sponsored by Burn,
Oh.
the innovative fitness company behind the world's renowned Burn board.
Burn is recently ranked by Women's Health magazine as the best low-impact cardio workout of 2021. 2021. Burn's 6-foot adjustable slide board.
2020 Burn.
2020 Burn. Burn's 6-foot adjustable slide board is the low-tech, low-cost, at-home fitness solution for people who want to break a sweat without breaking the bank.
Both Kirk and I have been to their NYC studio hundreds of times pre-COVID.
It's true.
It's true. That's how we met, actually.
It
That's
is.
how we met. And we are active users of their at-home platform, too. Kirk's actually on one of the videos.
I am. And with over 8 categories and hundreds of on-demand workouts to choose from, the Burn board and subscription makes sitting down to work out a thing of the past.
Our listeners, okay, are you listening? Our listeners will receive a special 7-day free trial to their monthly subscription plus 15% off their purchase and free shipping with code Doozy15 at checkout.
Visit theburn.com today for more information about how you can get on board today. Again, that's theburn.com. BRRN.com to get 15% off plus free shipping with the code Doozy15 at checkout. DOOZY15.
We get free shipping too and a 7-day free trial. That's pretty dope.
Dude, that's a good
That's a
deal.
pretty good code right there.
Anyway, I'm ready to get beautiful again.
Again?
Let's jump back into the tips. See you guys over there. All right.
And we're back,
And
everybody.
we're back. Oh my gosh, we're in the top 3 tips.
Did you
now.
buy all your glue yet? Do you have enough glue? You know, this is actually funny because on the podcast, Kirk is known for ripping his pants a lot. He's known for ripping his pants, and then when he's worn costumes where the front part is ripped open too.
Yeah, I have an affinity.
E6000.
I need E6000. No, for real. Like I just have this.
Rhinestone over it.
Yeah. No, for real. Like
if you're wearing pants and there's just a trail of rhinestones going down your pants.
Rhinestones with E6000. They'll be like, "What is that? Why is that guy's crotch all rhinestoned out?"
Yeah.
This is no.
You just got a crotch of rhinestones. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I
man.
literally like, and it seems like you could just buy E6000 glue at any hardware store.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's on Prime
And Amazon.
Wow.
You know what? I did not think that going into this, I would learn that, hey, to fix these ripped pants,
Go to Home Depot.
go to Home Depot.
Yeah, exactly.
Get some E6000.
Yeah. And now
Wow.
whenever I see a hot girl at Home Depot, I'll be like, oh, what? She's like beauty pageant stuff.
Beauty pageant
Beauty
stuff.
pageant stuff. I'm like, okay. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Well, let's keep the party going here.
We're keeping it going, guys.
Number 3, okay? After all the glue, the amount of work that goes in behind the scenes is unbelievable, but also prepares you for life, okay? Daily commitment fitness, planning and preparation for your platform, regular practice and preparation for interview, poise and elegance in evening gown and onstage performance, talent practice, prep, and constant work.
This is just the tip of the iceberg of
Yeah.
stuff. All
Yeah.
the stuff that you have to prep for. It is quite incredible.
Yeah,
Now-
and it does. I mean, because it's all about like the elegance and the physical fitness and all that stuff and
The poise. That
And-
word
and-
choice is actually
yeah,
so.
and like how you talk during interviews and like stuff like that. And
Yeah.
so it actually does kind of make you just better, like all around, like in that aspect
I
in
see
life
that,
too. 'Cause
yeah.
that's what you're working hard to do.
I'm very, very interested.
Yeah.
Like this is so detailed in like the like step by step. What were some of the things that you kind of implemented in the, I assume, year or months leading up to like Miss Tennessee, or like, because I know like platform is probably almost like, I think of like platform as like kind of like a brand. How are you like specifically like showing yourself off, or what are some of the things that you like implemented in the months prior?
Yeah, so to break it down, there's several categories of competition. The private interview, no one actually sees. That's what the judge is in a private room before you get on stage. And you do have an on-stage question as well. Usually there's a preliminary one and then a final one. Now, the wild thing about that is your preliminary one, once you get to state, you have to, it's like light-hearted for the most part, or platform-based, and then it's political on your final night. So sometimes it can be paperwork-based, sometimes it can be light. So like for when I won, they asked me about how I had a part-time gig during grad school as a beagle nanny. Like, cute, like it was on my paperwork, whatever.
Yeah.
And then my final night, the night I won, they asked me what I thought about our president pulling out of the Iran nuclear deal.
What? I was like, could you ask me about the Beagles again?
Could you ask me about the Beagles again? Yeah. Yeah. The first question is, so how's your day? And the second question is, describe the color red to a blind person. Huh?
What a leap! What a leap! So how do you, as somebody like having to prep for all of these different categories. How do you prep for that wild card of a?
So it took me to give a little background, and then I'll come back to the topics of it all. I competed for 5 years until I won. So it was, like I said, I didn't grow up in it. I didn't know what a pageant was. I'd never worn a bikini, blah, blah, blah. My dad actually talked me into it, and he's like, just try it. And I'm like, a what?
baby,
No.
baby. Just
He's so into it. Like, he has a demolition business, but he loves picking out gowns. Like, he thinks of it like a sport, like you were saying. So he's like, this is like picking out your football equipment. And he gets so into it. If it's not rhinestone, he doesn't want it. Like, he runs around with 2 iPhones with the flashlights on, and he's like, does it sparkle?
It's fake. It doesn't sparkle. Oh my gosh.
That's good though. That's cool.
Oh, he's the best support system. But to answer your question, not to go off on a tangent, but I'll do that later. To answer your question, he to prepare for all that, like for me, it's 5 years of preparation, and you have to win a local title to go to state. So you've been preparing for a while, so you have to prepare for the local, the state, and then the national if you make it there. And then with USA, it's a local, state, national, international. For universe. Unfortunately, there is no like intergalactic thing that
Intergalactic.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Elon Musk, we're coming for you. Like,
I was about to say,
right.
I was like, Elon Musk is gonna
He'll find
Miss Mars.
Yeah.
Miss Mars in 2030.
Yeah. Miss Dogecoin. Yeah.
Dogecoin on the moon.
That'd be good. Yeah.
but it's whenever that day comes, I'm ready. But it's so much like for me, what I always did was I would just get like my news debriefs via email or watch. If there's something that I needed more research on to develop my opinion, I'd spend more time researching that. But every morning I'd jot down what happened. And then once a week I would sit down and research the hotter topic items that I knew would come up in my interview in June, because the state pageant's always in June. So I'm actually going to MC next week, or this week. Today's Sunday. Oh my God.
Amazing.
I'm really looking forward to it, but it's so much because you're also preparing all your paperwork and your work. So you're reviewing like, what is my opinion on what the president did today? But how do I also like have a view from all the sides and not take too much of my time, because that's not going to win me the crown.
That's
But I don't want to take it off.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a fine line but the preparation and knowing that you've done what it takes feels really good. Like I always tell girls now that are competing, I'm like, the best feeling I had was combating that anxiety by knowing that every single day I was doing something to prepare for it, so that when I stepped my foot on stage, there is not one more thing I could have done. I couldn't have done one more push-up. I couldn't have read one more article. I couldn't have run through my song one more time. Like when you've done it all, it's such a satisfying feeling.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
And you worded
Yeah.
so well in the fact that like it also prepares you for life. I can only imagine, because I know for me, it like I think about that political question kind of portion. I think like I would probably get so lost if I was competing.
Can we ask you about the Beagle again?
I would get so lost. Like I feel like I would get so lost in the gown or the poise or the talent portion that I would be like, oh no, wait, no, I don't want to have an opinion about politics. I feel like it's a challenging thing that some people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's incredible. Now, before we move on, I do want to know.
I also wanted to just to go back. I wanted to kind of compare it to like. So Kirk's an actor and I'm a comedian, and basically we like for a show, you have rehearsals, you have all this stuff, and everything leads up to like show night or like the film day.
Everything implemented.
And once that happens, you're like, okay, I did everything I could. And now I'm ready in this moment, and let's go. And you're so prepared, and like right before I go on stage too, I'm like, let's do this. So there's
a lot of prep.
I chase that feeling. I love that feeling.
It's such a good when you're like, I'm ready to like, let's kick ass and take names.
Yeah, like let's kick ass. Hairspray, glue, dead animal.
Incredible.
Describe the color red.
Before we move on, the one thing I wanted to add, describe the color red. I'm so interested in like what you did for your talent portion.
Yeah, so I have grown up singing and performing since I was 7. That was our thing. My parents have terrible stage fright, so our house was built like with kind of a stage in it for my sister and I. And it was when they would have dinner parties, my dad would be like, "Bobby, come sing Jesus Loves Me," or whatever. Like it was. So I would come down to my tutu, like, "Okay, Dad."
I'm doing E6000, Dad.
Tell me what to do. I'm not telling you about the color red.
Not telling you nothing.
Gosh, that's amazing.
I almost sang an opera piece because that was what I did when I went to Chattanooga. I sang the Italian operatic version of Memories from Cats.
Oh.
In case you're wondering, he was so into it. It's his favorite song. And then when I won Miss Tennessee, I sang what's it called? Never Enough from The Greatest Showman. It was
hell.
I like that movie.
It's a banger.
Yeah.
And I wore like this giant pink dress, and it was like I was living the 8-year-old dream. Like I was so happy.
Yes.
There we go. Okay.
There we go. How fun.
And have you always like knew that was like your talent, like singing, or like have you tried to do other talents?
My family will tell you I can't dance. Like I can do point and I can do ballroom. Like I was trained in that for a while, but if you're not competing, when you have preliminary competitions at state, you do a different category every night. And if you're not competing in swimsuit, you have to be in the production number and you have to learn this like hip hop style dance. Every year my family like sits in the audience and makes fun of me. I'm so bad at it. So my director made me take dance lessons for 3 months before it. Like every single day, I still know that dance in like leather leggings and a sequin jacket. I still know it.
Wow.
Like it's hand clap by Fits and the Tantrums. I still know every move because I did it every single day because I cannot dance to save my life.
Wow.
Wait, isn't there a joint thing? That's right. Like with everyone?
You were like, can't I just hypnotize a chicken or something? Pick your chicken.
The color rat or beagles. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's cool. Just
cool.
Because there is a lot of hard work leading up to it, and it's a big accomplishment. You know, it's pretty awesome.
Even to get there.
Yeah, and then afterwards, so after you won the pageant, you know, and you acted a certain way and built up for it, you know, afterwards. Were you still like maintaining like that kind of, you know, that like, you know, Miss Universe persona, or like did you
that schedule for yourself?
Yeah, or do you turn it on or off, or is it, you know what I mean?
It's a little bit of both. Like because it's so funny because the pageant is awesome and I love the glitter and the razzle dazzle of it all, but the job of it is so different. Like you work as the governor's character education spokesperson, so you are in 3 to 5 schools every single day talking about a character trait. You're driving yourself. You are also the chair of Volunteer Tennessee. You work with children, like you are, and your platform, I forgot to mention that, your platform is your personal cause. Yeah. So for me, that was the Alzheimer's Association. And so I'm doing stuff with that. I'm fundraising, I'm educating, I'm advocating. And you're doing that on a day-to-day. And so it's the nitty-gritty day-to-day is not glamorous at all, but like you still have to show up in that kind of like and be what's expected of you. So there's on the flip side of it, on the day-to-day, you are in a different city almost every day. I had my hair and makeup routine down to like 5 hot rollers in 20 minutes. So it was impressive. It was very nice. But you're moving yourself. So on the flip side of it, like the job itself is not very glamorous, but it is the best year of your life. So you're also trying to navigate like, this kid just wiped snot on me. How do I elegantly get this off before the next presentation?
Yeah.
It's like, this snot isn't that bad. I've had pounds of glue on me before.
Yeah,
That's similar in consistency.
Just cover yourself in hairspray. We'll bounce right off.
Yeah, you just like the showers at the end of the day are like magical because you want to hug every single kid, but you've been touched so much. You're like, okay, that's good.
Wow. Well, we're going to keep trucking along. We're now in the top 2.
Top 2.
Our top 2. The runner-up. The runner-up tip is...
The runner-up tip.
The runner-up tip.
Nice.
I love it.
Nice.
The runner-up tip is... You'll find opportunities you never could have dreamed of otherwise from the avenues and connection pageantry provides. Christine was able to speak before Congress at the age of 19 and gain experience in nonprofit lobbying. And she sang the national anthem in front of more than 10 senators and 5 governors in one room for an event. That's a pretty big deal.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there you go.
Speaking in front of Congress, that's like
singing in front of Congress and all that stuff. Yeah. Kirk's just covered in rhinestones.
I'm ripping while I'm speaking.
I know it's also in your contract that you can't drink in public for the year. And I was before that national anthem. I'm like, can I please take a shot? Can I please take a shot? I was like,
oh, wow.
Oh, which is kind of funny because our former CEO is a liquor lobbyist, and I was like, bruh.
Bruh, come on.
In the hotel, it's fine, just not in public. I was
Nice.
Oh my God.
So you're out there, you're at schools, you're giving kids hugs and stuff, and then you get in your car and you're like, and you spray paint yourself, and then you're taking shots, and you're like, all right.
Do you have like
all right, on to the next school.
Do you have so you're driving there on your own? Do you do you ever have like an assistant with you or anything that you can be like, Barbara, I need a nip, please.
Yeah.
No.
I need a nip.
Please, fireball.
Fireball.
Anything. Fireball, tequila, anything. I don't care.
Yeah. I got to go to a middle school in 30 minutes.
I'm so scared of middle schoolers and high schoolers. I'm fucking terrified. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I like everything like flashes back to 8th grade, and I'm like, I don't know. And
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't do well with kids because I was a little shit back then too. So like, and I don't know how to like talk to the kids because they'd be like, you're ugly. And I'm like, ugh. And you could just punch them right in the face, but you can't.
You can't.
Because then, right? And then you're on the front page of the news, Miss Tennessee punches kid in the face, right? You can't.
elementary school kids, like all day. After 6th grade, I'm terrified. But yeah, so there's no one with you, which is both a blessing and a curse because some states had travel companions, and they're like, God, Cindy won't shut up today. So for me, I kind of loved that I could get in the car and like, but it's a lot because you're navigating all this. I'm super independent, and when I started competing, my mom is like, my dad's the emotional one, clearly. My mom is just like stone cold, like daughter of an ER nurse. I've seen her cry 3 times. Dad cries on Tuesdays. I don't know. And
Dad cries on Tuesday.
Just like one tear goes down, she like kind of sucks it back up.
I'm proud of you.
yeah, she shoots it back up. I'm proud. Yeah,
It comes out. I'm proud of you.
yeah. You won. She's like, I'm so proud. Wow.
this is your thing. Like when it started at 17, she's like, this is your thing. Like, I'll help you when you need it, but like, this is your thing. Don't come to me crying. I'm like, okay. But that did really prepare me for the day to day because there are some days like it's also a lot to carry with you because the kids are just like, that was what I really loved was especially the little ones because you're going to as many schools as you can, and you're also hearing very intimate things from kids because they trust you, and it's something I take very, very seriously. Like you'll have to laugh because some of them will be like, did you come in a horse and carriage? And you're like, God, I wish.
Yeah.
God, I wish. I drove my Nissan.
I was on a Nissan. I was on a dead animal. Yeah.
Then they're like, and then sometimes like you also have to just kind of be prepared for that and some of the stuff that comes along with that because it's a lot. And but there's so much fun. But then some days you get in your car and you're just like, I'm so happy to be alone right now. So for me, I loved it. Like I listened to podcasts. I would just like some days it was just silence for hours because I'm like, I don't want to talk.
Because there's
place, but it was so I think it's on the flip side. I think my mom came with me twice, and then I would just like sleep in the car the whole time. There was one day she came with me because I had 8 schools in one day. And by the end, like she was like, "Hey, 7 o'clock. You want to go to bed?" And I'm like,
No.
oh,
"I want to go to bed."
Well, I can only imagine there's such a little bit of a weight on your shoulder. You having won Miss Tennessee and going around to these schools, I think just the general public put you on a pedestal in a way in how you
with that because they have these expectations. And one of the things I realized, like I met so many generous, wonderful people during my year. Like it was the best year of my life. So far, I would go back and do it again any day of the week, but the thing is that I found is like because you are a public figure and obviously like I'm nothing compared to like Kim Kardashian, but on that level of being a public figure, people feel very comfortable saying things to you that you're like, what? Like I remember one time, usually you'll have a school coordinator with you, and some of them, like one of my school coordinators, were best friends. She sent me pictures of her granddaughter when she was born. Like, so you meet.
You want to see my baby? No.
Like we text all the time, and she's like, "Hey, when's the next one coming?" I'm like, "I got you, Cindy." But then sometimes, like, I was somewhere, and I think I was with Cindy, and someone else had come to lunch, and she stood up for me, which was awesome, and I so appreciated. I'd ordered spaghetti, and this person goes, "Oh, you eat carbs?" And I'm like, "Every day."
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Wow. Well, you know what? That person's just jealous because you won. She doesn't know all the hard work you put in, all the glue.
Yeah, and she doesn't know that you put in the work to be able to eat carbs every day.
Exactly.
No, I'm glued in for this. And Cindy was like, "Yeah," and she looks great doing it. And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
It was awesome. But people feel like there is that pedestal thing, and you have to know that there's some kind of odd rules in it. Like, if you're in Jackson, Tennessee, where the pageant is, it's a small town, so everybody knows you, and you just kind of have to know that going into it. So when you're in your hotel room, close the curtains, breathe. But someone will find you and take a picture if you are in sweatpants without your makeup on, and just look like clean. Like, is the thing, because I've heard all the horror stories and people just getting roasted for everything, and I'm like,
oh my.
So you kind of just have to know that, but you also signed up for it. Like, not only did you ask for it, you kind of paid to do this.
Yeah.
It, like, begged 6 judges to give you this. So in that vein, like, whenever I felt like it was a day where I'm just like, I don't want to put on extensions, it's like, no, I signed up for this, and there's a million people that would love to be in my position. But some days it's a lot. And some days, like, there was one day I, like, cried off my lashes in the car because it was just a long day or whatever, and you're just tired.
Yeah.
One time, I mean, and sometimes you just can't explain the things. Like, there was one day I was late for a school. I had like a 30-minute drive, not a big deal. Tennessee's a long state. It's 9 hours tip to tip. So it's rough. And I was late one day, and it was because, like, it was in this road. I was on this, like, back road, and it was like pretty steep on either side. So I couldn't go around. It was like one lane, and a chicken was just sitting in the middle of the road, like, walking down.
Because he was hypnotized.
Why was Miss Tennessee late? Because the chicken wouldn't cross the road.
Oh, dog ate my homework. Yeah, exactly. That's how I know.
The chicken wouldn't cross
Yeah,
the road.
yeah.
I'm like, you're not gonna believe me. I'm sorry, I'm late. I was just like, it's not. I called my mom after. I'm like, I can't. Like, you can't make this.
Chicken literally.
You were
never
honking,
crossed
the chicken was like, huh? Where am I?
I got out and screamed at it. Like, I didn't know what else to do.
Yeah.
And it finally just looked at me and, like, walked back. I'm like,
Yeah.
You should have like snapped twice, or like used the past the word, right? Where you're like, when I say orange, you're gonna stand in the middle of the road.
That chicken, oh my God, was going through a life crisis, dude. He was like, listen, there's a lot. Could you give me a second? There's a lot of people talking about why I'm crossing this road or not. Yeah. I have to understand myself.
Yeah. The other chickens were like, yo, did you see Dave? He got hit by Miss Tennessee.
because that would be the thing. Someone would come out and be like, that was my prize chicken.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
she's won 8 county fairs.
Yeah.
We're gonna be like,
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Miss Tennessee slaughters chicken in the middle of the road.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's
Yeah.
exactly what would happen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But that's so cool though
amazing.
to be able to just go out and because I'm sure there are a lot of kids, right, that like when you were younger, were there any Miss Pageant winners that would come to the school and you'd be like, ooh, I want to be that one day, you know?
I was homeschooled in elementary school, so I didn't have that experience. But one of the reasons I got into it, my dad's best friend was a personal trainer, so I, like, saw them around when they would use the way our house was, like, they would come practice walking at our house occasionally, and so I would see them and I'm like, she looks really different on stage, or whatever. But they were always so kind and just very, like, I'm like, you do this every day?
Yeah.
Like, remembering that, I was just like, that is why. I think one of them babysat me, and apparently she was my favorite because I thought she was really pretty. And she would let me get into my mom's makeup. But so I have that memory, but I really didn't grow up as much around it, like seeing it. It is cool. Like, some of the teachers would bring back, like, autograph cards from formers, because First Tennessee, or now First Horizon Bank, sponsors, and they give you these autograph cards to give to the kids. Thankfully, they're pre-signed, which is really nice. So when you're like, I have 8,000 to give out today, you're not like, I have to sign 8,000. Yeah. So shout out to them for doing that. But it's really cool to see like the legacy of it. And my favorite thing was to be like the first Miss Tennessee that had gone somewhere. And you're like, wow, I've never met someone like this. And when I tell them like my story about how I failed math for 3 years in 8th, 9th, and 10th grade, or how I have several learning disabilities and I'm dyslexic and dyscalculic, and how my story is very much about overcoming and working past that and not letting it hold you back. And then they're like, you're from Memphis and you're all the way out here or whatever. Just expanding their horizons was a really cool experience, and to let them see that there's so much more, and that your town, your socioeconomic demographic, and your grades, nothing can hold you back if you're determined. So that was the neatest part of it.
Yeah,
that's so awesome.
That's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're doing a great job.
Yeah, you really are.
You are. You're doing great.
Guys.
I would do it again, but I would not. I got both flus and pink eye. I would skip that part.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We have reached the...
And the judges have found their number one tip. And the number one tip goes to Kirk.
Oh my God. Thank you. I went so hard.
For amazing rhinestone.
E6000.
For exposing his kibbles and bits. He hypnotized the chicken, exposed his kibbles and bits, and was covered in rhinestone. Miss Doozy. Hey, we're at the number one tip. The winner, okay? Number one. No one tells you just how much you'll end up loving it. Okay. Even though I had an incredibly tumultuous.
Staub has trouble saying words sometimes.
God. Tumultuous and difficult year as Miss Tennessee. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Traveling 80,000 miles, hugging 73,000 school children, and that's just one of your jobs. And it's incredibly taxing. Being involved in the split of a major organization and finding yourself caught in the middle is a whole different situation on top of that. But while there were so many unprecedented challenges and situations, it was the most rewarding and fulfilling year of my life, and I will always treasure it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
And just like seeing all those people and stuff. And just, that's and spreading the love. That's good energy. You know what I mean? That's
being a positive.
We need people like that. Yeah,
of sorts.
Yeah.
in people's lives, and especially if you can do it for children. That's where it's very, very special.
Yeah.
If you can.
A lot. I think one of the most important things is having a support system. And it is a lot to carry, like we said, and that's a lot on your shoulders. But when you like kind of zoom out and look back at it, and you're like, this is so much bigger than you.
Yeah.
And that's the really cool moment. It's like because the days that you don't want to do it the most are the days that you're needed the most.
Yeah.
Like whether you're at a hospital, and that was always a lot. You're also the state ambassador for Children's Miracle Network. So you're visiting 5 hospitals. That is a lot to take home. But it is so rewarding.
Yeah, that changes your life too. You get to experience those things and see different perspectives of people, and like how, you go to the hospital and they're like, whoa, Miss Tennessee's here. This is awesome. You know what I mean? That's so cool.
That was one of my favorites. I would bring like crowns and superhero capes, because at first when I was visiting a local hospital here in Chattanooga as Miss Chattanooga, and I had this crown, like I have a like fake Miss Tennessee crown I let them try on. And like, the state one's easier to take off, so I let them try it on. But then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, this kind of sucks to let them try it on and be like, all right, kid, give it back, bye. Like, I was like, so I started bringing plastic crowns, because I'm like, something's not right here.
Yeah.
So we did plastic crowns, and it was great. And like, so for obviously not all little boys want a little plastic crown, so we did superhero capes and stuff, and it was so much fun. And then you don't have to take it back, and then you're not the villain.
Yeah. And you have the crown still?
I do. It is somewhere in my office under, when I say like moving, my office is also half a closet, and it's just kind of piles everywhere right now. But you do get to keep the crown. It's still in a box. I am very, very extra, and I have like display cases of all of them. I haven't figured out the state ones yet, but you do get to keep it, which is cool. Like, whereas some different pageants like Miss Universe, they have like a Mickey Moto diamond crown or Mawad. you don't get to keep that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll take the $150 one any day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm like, yeah, I don't want a diamond like that. Someone will break in my house.
Rhinestones.
Right. Oh, rhinestones. Shiny rhinestones.
Just rhinestones. That's cool. And also you get to meet so many people too. Like so you sang for like, governors and all that stuff, and that's pretty cool too. To just you did kind of once you win, you do kind of enter like a whole different level there where you can you do walk around the city, but you can also meet just meet higher status people like that.
It does it puts you in situations because of the doors it opens. Like my favorite was meeting Morgan Freeman at an Ole Miss game. Like,
hey,
oh my gosh, God himself.
He was like Miss Tennessee. Yeah.
I have to tell you the story. So we're there. I'm an alum of Ole Miss, and we're there. And I was there with my Miss Mississippi, Asia, who's now Miss USA. She went on and won Miss Mississippi USA and just won Miss USA and was top 20 at Miss Universe.
Nice.
Humble brag on her. She's awesome, and she's only 23. Like, I'm like,
Wow.
how are you doing this?
Wow.
So
Glue.
one of my favorite.
It's a lot of glue, Christine.
Yeah.
Remember what I said earlier.
Yeah.
So we're about at this game, and they take us up to the suite. And we're up there, and they said, oh, Morgan Freeman's outside. Do you want to meet him? I'm like, yeah. And he's just trying to watch the game. Like, he's a huge Ole Miss fan. He has a bar in Clarksdale, like an hour and a half south. And all these kids are coming up and taking pictures with him. And, like, he's getting annoyed. He just wants to watch the game. And because his other alumni had brought, like, 10 grandkids. And I can kind of see it. So we come over. I'm like, awesome. Let's get him while he's pissed. So we go over there. And we sit down, and he's just kind of like, hey, how are y'all? Like, and I was like, yeah, so what's it like with all these kids taking selfies? He's like, I just want to watch the game. I'm like, well, they think you're God, so. And he started giggling, and I was like, I
made God laugh.
Hey, well, they think you're God, so. And he goes, and so, Christine made me laugh.
That was the time, Christine.
He, like, I was freaked. There's a picture of him, like, giggling and me, like, freaking out.
Yes. That's hilarious.
It was the best. He was so kind and awesome, and that it was just unreal. But it does open a lot of doors, and it's funny, like when some of these like old white men get really excited to meet you, like especially like if you're going to a Senate situation, because I spoke a lot with that, and they're always like get kind of nervous. You're like, this is fun.
I like old white men nervous around me.
And they also assume a lot about you because you're in a very Republican state, and not to get political, but so I would just kind of have to sit there and be like, shut your mouth, Christine, shut your mouth. Don't say anything. The board's going to get a call. You're going to ruin everything. Be quiet. You just sit there and you're like, because one day I was in the Tennessee Senate for something, and this one senator had made a really stupid point, and somebody else stood up and countered it and basically told him, like, sit down, little girl. I was just very moved. And so I started clapping, and the attorney general was like, you're not supposed to do that, Miss Tennessee. And I was like, sorry.
It's like, oh, this isn't a play.
I'm Miss Tennessee. Yeah. I do what I want. I spoke to God earlier.
I made him laugh.
He said I could do anything. Yeah. Well, you have a title now. You have an official title. You have status now. So that's why people get nervous,
Yeah.
If someone was like, Miss Tennessee's coming here, I'd be like, huh? What?
What?
Who is that? And it wouldn't matter. Like, if I didn't know, right, I'd be like, oh, we could just talk and have a normal conversation. But, like, I'm talking to Miss Tennessee right now. Okay. Right?
Yeah.
It's like different titles and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take it. I just want, whenever I like register for a hotel and it says you can put titles, I'm always like princess, ambassador.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I'm like, let's just add some more on it.
Some more. The princess, Miss Tennessee Princess Ambassador. God.
Goddess.
Yeah. Hey, well, those are the top 5 tips on how to beauty pageant. This was amazing.
This was so incredible. I learned so much.
Yeah.
And Christine, you were just an absolute delight to talk about. This is such an incredible deep.
I knew
dark,
nothing
like,
about
world.
pageants, and now I got more respect for all the because I just would watch it big. Oh, they look great, but there's so much hard work before and after. So it's that's respect to you. This is key. This is great.
Yeah.
I had a ton of fun. I'm so glad y'all had me on.
Definitely.
Do you have any final thoughts and words for
anything
for the
you'd like to
episode
shout
here?
out or?
I would guess you should all watch the Miss Missy Volunteer Pageant this Wednesday through Saturday. I'll be there emceeing, and it is on eplusTV6.com if you get bored and want to watch. And it is a great show. And I guess the last thing I have is don't let your kibbles and bits come out.
Hey,
don't let your kibbles and bits come out. What are your final thoughts? Don't let your kibbles and bits pop out. That's good.
That's great.
That might be out of all the guests we've had, that was the greatest final.
Was the greatest final.
That was the greatest final thoughts.
The final thoughts.
Normally they're like, hey, keep on going, blah blah blah. Life is great, and you're like, don't you dare let your kibbles and bits
fall out.
Glue them down. Hey, well, thanks for watching the MenofDoozy podcast, everybody.
Yes, guys, please comment what your favorite tip was about how to beauty pageant. And to be honest, if you have a tip about how to
glue,
about gluing,
how to hypnotize a chicken,
please let us know in the comments.
Share this with your friends.
Yes,
okay,
guys.
We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram.
We are available
Twitch.
to listen on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google, all the networks.
Go buy some Botticellis.
Botticellis.
Go buy some Botticellis. And Christine, where can we find you on all social media and stuff?
Yes, you can find me pretty much everywhere on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and TikTok at Christine Electra.
Christine Electra. Amazing.
Electra. Awesome. Hey, makes sense to me.
Makes sense to me. Guys,
we'll see you next episode.
See you next episode. Stay beautiful.
Get your glue.
Get that glue.
Keep
your
glue.
Kibbles and bits in, baby.
For exposing his kibbles and bits, we now have the final question for Kirk.
Okay.
Kirk, if you get this question right, the judges will make you Miss Doozy Universe.
Okay.
God, the question is, describe the color blue to a blind person.
So
rips his pants.
Rips his pants immediately. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
See you next week.
Love ya.
Bye.